All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Pocket Change Market Report. Find these coins and cash in, that's right. So, if you are an avid follower of not only my channel, but these market reports, okay, I do two of them a week. A Monday market report, which highlights a lot of the more marquee graded moderns, 1900 and up. In addition to the Pocket Change Market Report, okay, these are coins that realistically you can find in change through coin roll hunting. Whatever your flavor is in identifying these coins, you can make some pretty good side money. All right. And then there's some coins that sell for quite a bit of money. All right. You're going to see that here momentarily. But these are all coins that, number one, that you don't have to grade to sell them. You can sell them as is, raw, with great photos. And you could earn yourself a few dollars in the process. Okay, it's really, really cool. It's a great way, again, like I had said, to kind of supplement your income if you need it. But all in all, you could also even add these to your collection if you're into errors and varieties and, filling in albums, that sort of thing. Okay, this might be your show. Another thing to keep in mind, all of these sales are derived from eBay. All right, every single coin sold will display the original seller photos. Okay, the only thing I do is crop them a little bit, pair them up, so that way you could see not only the front of the coin but the back of the coin. Now there's going to be some instances where I'm not going to be able to show you all of the details, only because maybe I'm limited to the amount of photos that these respective sellers provide up front. All right, so again, no graded coins, raw, captured imagery directly from these seller listings. And typically, these are all coins that have sold within the last 24 to 36 hours. But I got great news for you, okay? I wasn't able to do one of these on Friday because of the 4th of July weekend. But we have a huge report to talk about. 35 coins in total. I guess you could call it the double down edition of the Pocket Change Market Report if you're looking to get your weekly fix of this, which I know a lot of people enjoy this market report. You're in luck. We got a big old fatty for you here to take in. So this is July 6, 2020. A lot of coins represented for being middle of the summertime. A lot of people trying to cash in on their coins. A lot of great finds, as you'll see. And it should be a lot of fun. All right, so before we go ahead and jump in, I got to do my YouTube thing. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for instant notifications. All the extra support that I may receive from you, as far as a subscription endorsement, would be absolutely awesome. Okay, make no mistake about it. I could certainly use the extra support. In addition, if you were going to get into doing this yourself, of course, the tools of the trade are some of the most important. Having probably the best magnifier for the job doesn't have to be a kind of expensive endeavor. Okay, you can find a really nice one for under $10. If you want more information, I do have Amazon links down below in the description box. Let's go ahead and expand that out. Pick and choose your supply type in there. And pick yourself up a really nice magnifier on the cheap. Okay, you do need one if you're going to get into identifying errors and varieties. Enough chit-chat. We're 4 minutes into this video, and I haven't given you guys anything yet. So we're going to go ahead and start out right here, keeping in mind all eBay sales. This coin is beat up. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a 1998 Lincoln Memorial Cent. This one right here is, of course, the wide AM reverse. So right here in America, you have the A and the M with an obvious separation space at the foot of both letters. Okay, that's important diagnostic to figure out on this. These coins, especially the 98 and the 2000, okay, which are the two more common wide AM variants to identify in change today, can still be sold for quite a bit of money. Okay, again, this coin is beat up. You can tell just the circulation wear, all the rim dings and nicks and all that stuff. It's not an attractive coin, but this one still managed to sell for $14.20 here this evening. How does that all work? I don't know. Okay, but someone obviously needed one example of the 98 wide AM Lincoln Memorial. Okay, so the next coin we have here is another 98. Philadelphia minted coin, of course. This one obviously is a very desirable off-center coin. Okay, it's about 15-20% off-center strike. Very nice, presentable coin. It's in great shape too. The seller was able to wrangle in $10.75 for this coin. Just a little kind of note for you guys. The amount of money that I'm quoting on the sales also includes shipping. It could be $1, $2, $3, whatever. So that's all put into play there as I discuss each coin independently. But off-center coins have, you know, just an amazing following in the error community. There are certain dates that are more rare than the others. We have a few of them on the list I'll talk about. But anyways, this is a really nice gem coin. All right, so for those of you that are looking through your 2020 quarters, most specifically the West Point struck circulation rarity coins, keep in mind, we are living in a funny time, okay? The U.S. Mint facilities are running on empty, all right? And a lot of the coins are coming up with a lot of errors. I actually have a few of them on the list that you guys will enjoy. This is one of them. Well, without even looking at the reverse, this is a 2020 West Point Weir Farm National Park quarter. Okay, it's even got the V75 privy mark here on the obverse. But this one, you can't really tell on this larger blown up obverse picture, which is clearly not clear. It's out of focus. But right here on the bridge of the nose, you'll see that it has a nice significant strike through. Okay, there's a lot of major mint errors going on with these coins. With a ramp up in production, quality seems to have taken a back seat when we're in the middle of this kind of like coin shortage. Maybe you've heard about it at a lot of the banks. So the Fed Reserve is not only taking coins from highly populated areas or banks that have a lot of these rolls, but the U.S. Mint is ratcheting up the production of coins. Okay, and from what I understand, some of these facilities, like the West Point, were either closed at one point or they're running on a skeleton crew. Okay, they're probably doing 412s or whatever the case is. But there is a lot of room for error for these coins. So make sure you pay attention to all coins coming out during the 2020 calendar year. Okay, that's important. But anyways, this coin sold for $16.45. This is a coin right here. If not for the West Point, the error would be it would be an oversight to a lot of people. People would know that it is an error. Excuse me. So, I've gotten a lot of emails regarding consecutive serial numbered notes. All right? And generally what I like to tell people, especially with the newer notes, if you got maybe like 5 to 10 of them or 20 of them, usually there's not a huge premium, if any premium, with 10 to 20 consecutive notes. Okay, usually you're going to need like a full 100 count bank strap or Fed Reserve strap to really make a difference. Okay, people have been selling those for about double face value. But we have a set of 4 really nice gem crisp notes. They're all consecutive in nature. One of the notes has kind of like a weird mark on one of the faces on here per the seller listing. But in any event, this 4-note set here, these are 2013s by the way, sold for $13.50. It doesn't seem like a whole lot of money, but that's over triple face value. So you could capitalize on something like this if you come across it and make a little bit of money in the process. It's always nice to find, you know, a semi-earlier dated Lincoln cent. This is still a Lincoln Memorial. They're very common out there. But what we have here is a coin that exhibits triple clipped planchet. All right, you can see number 1 here above trust, 1 by the date, and then 1 here at the base of Abraham Lincoln's bust. All right, so how much does a coin like this go for? I found a few of these in my lifetime, and I've always been curious. I still have them. This one right here sold for $23.94. The clips themselves are pretty minor. However, when you come across some that have a double or a triple, Okay, that greatly enhances the value of these, and collectors just want them. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're going through your coins. If you come across these clips, the more the merrier. You're just going to make more money. Pretty nice sale here. All right, so it wouldn't be a market report without at least talking about at least one machine doubled or die deteriorated doubled coin. The 69S is just an iconic coin by itself because of the potential of hitting it big with the actual DDO FS101 variety. That's in the Cherry Picker's Guide. It's in the Red Book. It's known throughout the community and amongst some non-coin collectors as being a huge variety that sells for many tens of thousands of dollars. However, in the mix, machine doubled coins seem to have confused a lot of people who are trying to find the actual real doubled die. And they can occur on the date or even Liberty or in God We Trust. And it doesn't matter where it's located. These actually have a little bit of a cult following. There are people that pay up for these non-error machine doubled coins. In this particular case, this coin sold for a hefty amount of money, $38.60. Yes, there is a secondary market for machine doubled coins. And maybe one day, the powers that be will anoint these as actual U.S. Mint errors. Okay, it is what it is. One day it's going to happen. But anyways, there are people that are stocking up on some primo examples. This is one of them. Now, this is probably an error that you're unlikely going to find in change or rolls. Okay, so what we have here is a 1996 Lincoln cent that is double struck. Only the secondary strike has been flipped over. All right, you can tell right here on the reverse, you can see actually Liberty. This is actually part of the obverse design that you're seeing here, which is really interesting. So you got flip over double strike. This one right here sold for $44.59. Again, it's just a neat oddity. Okay, these were generally pulled out of, mint sewn bags directly from the mint. The quality isn't nearly as there when it's done that way. And that's where a lot of the kind of like large, just oversized errors come from, is from those mint bags. Very unlikely will you come across these in an actual bank wrapped roll. All right, there you go though. Pretty nice. All right, so we got 1996 Philadelphia Washington quarter. All right, so it looks like and it appears that the coin is slightly off center. Okay, you can see it on both sides of the coin, the reverse and obverse. It's in extraordinary shape. This is a really nice high-graded specimen. These still pop up in change infrequently, but they still are out there. But what we have here, it's not so much an off-center strike because you still have a full rim down here and full devices on this edge. What we have is a tilted partial collar. All right, so the collar, this blank, wasn't 100% seated in the striking chamber, and then when it struck, it was overlapping on the collar, and you get this neat little effect. Okay, it's also affectionately referred to as a railroad rim. All right, so it looks like a railroad tie on the edge of the coin. It's pretty neat. But this one right here sold for $5.58. It doesn't seem like a whole lot of money. I feel like this is probably a $10 to $15 coin all day long. But these do come up out there. Okay, they're not as rare as you would think, but definitely keep an eye out for these. They are worth some money, $5 to $10 all day long. Now here's a genuine 1996 Philadelphia. I believe it's from the same seller. This one is slightly off center by about 5%. It's not a world beater. It's about the same size as a quarter still. But this is a really nice high grade example. Now this one right here sold for $26.55. Off-center coins will sell for comparatively more money than the previous coin we looked at. All right, so keep that in mind. And these still pop up on occasion. They're going to be the smaller offset type errors, 5% and under, but nonetheless, they do pop up on occasion. All right, so the next coin that we have here is a clad planchet, so it's a 71 and up. Kennedy half dollar blank. All right, it weighs the the requisite 11.3 grams as expected for the coin. This one right here, along with the dollar coins, the larger like Eisenhower's, any sort of blanks from either the Kennedys or Eisenhower's, or maybe even the Susan B. Anthony's and up, are coveted in the error community, much more so than the other lower denominations, just because of their larger size and their heft. So this blank right here sold for $62. All right, it's a genuine blank because it has the upset rim, okay, which is what they call a stage 2. They'll take the blanks, they'll upset the rim on there before they actually do the full strike of the coin. All right, so that's pretty neat. And please keep in mind that the 50-cent pieces and bigger blanks do command quite a bit of money on the secondary market. All right, so the next one that we have here is an earlier dated 1935 Lincoln Wheat Cent off-center struck coin. Okay, earlier the better. It just seems to me that these coins continually get more and more expensive as I do these reports. This used to be a coin right here that can be attained for between 10 and 20 bucks as recently as 2015, and now all of a sudden the market has just jumped for these coins. Now keep in mind, before 1959, during the older wheat cent reverse time period, is when you're going to see a lot of these coins begin to enhance in value a lot more than they ever have. So this one right here sold for $37. And I would say it's about 5% off center. A really nice, pleasing kind of like about uncirculated grade. The reverse is a little bit funny. There might have been some sort of other coin or something that was overlapping or something to give this a little bit more red. You could actually see the hard lines on there of the overlap, whatever it may be. It might have been a coin that was in a canvas bag. So there you go. Pretty cool. A very nice coin. For all you paper money hunters out there, currency errors are a hit. All right, so what we have here is a 1995 $1 Federal Reserve note. On the front, it does look quite a bit under-inked, and that's exactly what this error is. So these notes are printed in 3 stages. You have the first print being the Treasury seal, the green seal, the serial numbers, and the district numbers. All right, and that's why they look pretty bold. Keep in mind there is a little bit of a staple rust right here, but this third print right here is really light. Okay, it's missing a lot of ink during that process. The reverse, bold and crisp. Okay, this is referred to as a second print. So this note right here sold for $79. And this is again a 1995. This was actually sold by a company back east called First State Coin in Delaware. They're in Dover. I highly recommend them. I've shopped there for years, and a great group of people. All right, so go check them out. $79, so pretty nice coin, pretty nice dollar bill. These do pop up on the newer notes as well. Keep an eye out for it. All right, so another relatively minor clip, a 1978 Roosevelt dime. You can see it right there over Liberty. It's a nice shallow clip, nothing that's going to, kind of like blow you away. But again, these have kind of a little bit of a following, so people do tend to pay up for a really nice kind of like mid-state example, which is what this one is. So the reason why I threw this one on here is that way you could see the Blakesley effect, which is one of the things you're going to look for on a single clip coins. Sometimes they'll come up on double clips, but the more clips, the harder it is to find. But what it is you have this flatness on the corresponding opposite edge of the coin from where the clip is. All right, so you got the flattening, and it's just, when the clips occurred, it didn't upset that whole entire area during the strike, but a pretty neat coin nonetheless. So how much did this one sell for? $15.94. These exist quite often in change. Okay, I come across quarters, nickels. I've found a few dimes with clips on there. Okay, this is real money. 10 to 20 bucks is usually the going rate for clips these days. They've gone up quite a bit. I had a hard time trying to sell these for like $1 to $2 as recently as 10 years ago. Now all of a sudden they've gained a huge appreciation in the market. Keep in mind, the deeper the clip, the more ragged the clip, the better. Eye appeal is everything. They want something dramatic. Here's another one, this time on a newer quarter. This is a 2015 Philadelphia Saratoga. All right, so it's not that long ago. So this one right here features a double clip. You got one above States. You also have one here that kind of saddles between Liberty and United. Pretty cool coin. And you get a little bit of a Blakesley effect here and here as well. The rim's just a little bit flat. But how much did something like this sell for being a newer quarter? Well, I'm happy to say it brought home $17.30. So as you can see, there's a lot of coins that, okay, there's nothing that screams out $5 expensive. That just doesn't happen in the landscape of some of these pocket change finds. However, you kind of cobble together like 10, 20 listings per week. I mean, you can make some serious money. How would you like to make an extra, like maybe $600 to $1,000 a month finding some of these errors? Okay, it doesn't have to be one coin. We all want that big one-time hitter, but if you take the time, you sell these, okay, and just appreciate them for what they are, minor errors that people still love. People like affordability too. It doesn't all have to be expensive coins. Keep that in mind as you're searching through your coins as well. All right, so this is a really neat one. I like this. I've never seen a Lincoln wheat cent that has this level of strike through on the obverse. You can see that the date is completely missing. But to help validate the strike through, it was struck through grease, which it was a large gob of grease that was on that die. But you can also see some of the weakening here at the front of Lincoln's bust, and then the front of his face is a little bit weak as well, because it's other than that, this is a nice grade coin, probably like an AU-58. You can see some of the mint luster in the protected areas. It even has a big old gnarly die chip on the reverse wheat stock. So how much does something like this go for? Well, this one sold for $13. So I had to check my notes here. 13 bucks, believe it or not, is what I would consider to be kind of like a low end, kind of like a bargain price coin. But there you go. You find a coin with missing devices, clogged filled dies, or strike through grease. You really have something. These, again, have enhanced in the marketplace in the last 6 to 12 months. And we're just beginning to see like some pretty impressive coins come out onto eBay on a weekly basis, and they're reflective on their actual sale price. All right, another brand new quarter. Okay, if you don't look hard enough, you don't know what to look for. Okay, and hence is the reason why you ought to get a really nice quality magnifier. That's important. But what we have here is one of the brand new 2020 Philadelphia American Samoa double back quarters. Okay, these things have been hot off the presses, boy. Not only the West Point, but also some of the Philadelphia minted coins that exhibits errors. Okay, strike throughs have been huge on these coins. So you can't really see it at first glance, but when you get closer, really cool die gouge. It looks like a nose piercing right on the bat. Okay, that's not in Cuse, by the way. It didn't take a hit because you still have a full bridge right here, but this is raised, which would be die damage in itself. All right, so this coin, I'm happy to announce, sold for $19.70. It's a Philadelphia. West Point minted Samoa quarters on their own sell for about 15 to 20 bucks. So finding a Philadelphia with this kind of anomaly on there is definitely a really neat find. So make sure you look at everything on these coins, because the mint has been screwing up lately. Not to the fault of their own, but based off of the demand in the marketplace for more coins because of the shortage. They are doubling up production, maybe even tripling up their production in lieu of quality. So keep that in mind. All right, so I'm a huge fan of Cud die breaks. Again, we have another phenomenal high-graded specimen, a 1982 Philadelphia Jefferson nickel. You can see it right here. Okay, there's no mistaking that a piece of the die had fallen off. And a Cud does involve the rim. Okay, so if there was a little die break in the hair, and it's not involving the rim, okay, that's simply like a die chip or an internal die break. But this is an impressive coin. On the reverse, you have some of the weakness where the die break would have occurred on the obverse. But this one right here, ladies and gentlemen, sold for $38.50. These things just continuously go up. Again, this is probably a $20 coin 5 to 10 years ago. It's just the market has changed. People want affordable errors, and all of a sudden, the more affordable errors are starting to drift up in price, and we're seeing it on a yearly basis. It's incredible. All right, so this coin doesn't look like a whole heck of a lot, but it's a 64 Lincoln Memorial cent, and this one hides a really nice cherry picker's guide variety, and it's going to be a doubled die reverse. You can see the doubled serifs and the S as being kind of like the marquee marker on such a coin, but you can also see it on the top tails of the T's. You can see it on the E's, the A, even check out E pluribus unum. Wow, incredible. I found a few of these, and they are still coveted, although more people are finding them these days, so the prices have dropped just a shade. This one right here is sold for $18.90 in its current condition. All right, not too bad. These coins used to sell for about 30 to 50 bucks. In the same condition, they've kind of drifted down, only because supply is meeting demand. But still, a worthwhile find, and they are still worth money. All right, one of my favorite topics, one of my favorite subject coins to discuss, because I've never talked about it with you guys. All right, this 1980 Lincoln cent, because of its kind of like really cool wood grain pattern, is called that. It's called a Woody. And there is a huge collector base for these type of coins. In spite of the little gobs of grease and dirt and paint and all that other stuff, this is an incredibly attractive example for a collection. Now, what causes this? Well, it's real simple. Just like some of the earlier kind of like nickels, all right, it's a impurity in the mix of this composition. All right, so this is 1980. It's 98% copper, 2% tin. So when you have kind of like a, when the annealing process isn't correct on these, you do have improper alloy mixes. And that's what produces probably some of the most visually stunning coins that you can find. Now, keep in mind, woody type, coins like this generally are found in much earlier dates of Lincolns. All right, we're talking like teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Very rarely do we see it on later dated coins, and you won't find it on anything beyond 1982 because those are copper-coated zincs. We can only find these on the bronze planchets. A really interesting coin, and because of that, this one sold for $29.95. Now, there was a best offer involved, probably sold for between 15 and 20 bucks. But make no mistake about it, these have a tremendous secondary market. Keep that in mind as you're looking through your coins. This is another thing to put into your toolbox as another, possibility. All right, so we have another dollar bill. This one's kind of on the minor side, but it's definitely worth a mention. All right, so it's a pretty well-worn, obviously used and abused $1 bill. It's a 2009 series, so it's pretty new. But this one right here, as you guys know, has a little bit of an upshifted final digit in the serial string. All right, this is typically referred to as a turned digit serial number. So these numbers on both sets of serials are on a wheel. Okay, so one wheel, when it doesn't shift quite all the way around, okay, we'll have that turned look, which means it'll be a little bit up or a little bit down. All right, so this note in itself is a relatively minor error. This one right here sold for $3.16. It doesn't seem like it's all worthwhile because of fees and shipping. But if you do come across one of these notes with a turn digit that is much higher or high enough where it's actually cutting off some of that digit, or maybe you could see the other digit turned into that string, you have a really tremendous error note that'll sell for quite a bit of money, actually. Those notes have sold for upwards of $100, $200. But this one here is a minor example of a turn digit error. And the reverse, unfazed, it just looks normal, although you could identify the folding lines and all that stuff. Alright, so the pictures aren't great, but this one shows everything you need to know about this 96 Philadelphia Washington quarter. So, it was cute. This actual coin was listed on eBay, and it was referred to as quote-unquote laser beam eyes. Okay, as you can see, it's got these lines coming out of Washington's eyes, and you can also see some of them behind his head as well. It's all consistent with what is called feeder finger damage. Okay, that's a feeder finger actually feeds the coins into the striking chamber, and sometimes the feeder finger will, after a lot of wear and tear and a lot of strikes, will scrape up not on the coin planchet, but on the die. Alright, so this is something that occurs on the die before the strike. It would not be out of the question to find probably a few thousand of these same exact coins with the same anomaly on the front and back. Okay, these are all parallel lines that are raised in the not only the devices, but the fields as well. This is just a very interesting coin. There's a close-up of good old Mr. Laserbeam Eyes, and this one sold for $8.26. Again, another worthwhile find if you come across it. Jefferson nickel time. We got another attractive off-center coin. This time, this one is about 10% off-center. It's an 83 Philadelphia off-center. You know, it is what it is. Very well collected series. Sold for $23.74. Pretty cool coin. All right, so for those of you that are overlooking your 1972 Lincoln cents, shame on you, especially you guys living on the East Coast. 72 is a date within the Lincoln Memorial Series that is a virtual gold mine for doubled dies. There's about 10 or 11 of them that exist that are not only cherry pickers guide varieties, but are in their own right some of the most amazing double dies you will come across. Of course, the FS 101, the major one, is the one you want to look for. FS 104 is another big one. It's just known for being just downright rare, and a coin that traditionally has sold for many thousands of dollars in the past. This one, however, is die number 2, FS 102. You can see just a tremendous spread in Liberty. You know, the doubling in L, B, E, and R. You know, you can't understate something like this. It is strong. All right, In God We Trust also features a lot of strong doubling as well. 102 has long been one of my favorite DDOs for 1972 because it's really strong when you look at it. But in any event, this one sold for $34.20. Not a high-grade specimen, but a coin that is worth every bit the money that it's sold for. All right, so 1972 D Candy Half Dollar. For all you roll searchers, this is one I have continuously talked about as being a coin you need to pull out every time you find it. But in short, it's got the missing initials. Now you can see barely a little bit, but this coin right here was pulled and sold on eBay within the last day for $12.19, which is equivalent to, what, 90% silver half dollars? So if you're overlooking these, obviously you're leaving money on the table. If you're just looking for silver, man, you are really, really short selling yourself on these coins. Keep an eye out for this, along with the 1982 Philadelphia. All right, so here's a really common date of Lincoln Wheat Cent 1956 Denver struck. This one is about what I would consider to be maybe a VF30, VF35. It's not a high-grade example. But the good news with the Denver minted 56s is there are a bunch of repunched mint marks. This is the main one right here. All right, I found dozens of these, and they are phenomenal. Okay, they're in a cherry picker's guide to boot, so there was a lot of exposure there. But this one sold for $24.99. Easy pickings. Easy pickings. Make sure you look for these as you're searching through your wheat sets. These come up even in change on occasion. Another wheat cent. This time there's something off about this one. Something is missing. And I just don't know what it is. Oh, wait. I know. There's a missing digit in the date. All right. So what causes that? Okay. Some would say struck through grease. Okay. That's a good try. But more appropriately, this is a clogged die. All right. The die filled with grease and debris. And it's just not going to strike anything. All right. And the reason why it's less struck through grease is because all of the numbers of the date and the mint mark are still highly visible. They're very strong. All right, when you have weakness in some of these devices around the main device that's missing, that's struck through grease. This one is just a clogged die. Okay, pretty phenomenal find here. All right, so filled die sold for $19. There you go. It's not a high-grade specimen. It even has little nicks and scratches on the reverse, so it's not perfect. But keep an eye for something like this. All right, the pictures are just bad on this one. Okay, the attempted close-ups of a 2009 formative years penny is abysmal. So make this kind of a lesson. If you're going to take pictures, make sure they're as clear as you could get them. A lot of the images that you've seen previous to this one in this market report has been produced by some of the nicer kind of like smartphones out there. They could make some clear photos like this. All right, so make sure your lens is clean. Make sure you're using your not only your focus but also zoom feature, which will get you pretty good results. Try it out. But what's so special about this one? Well, they seem to knock out the super ultra close up, but this is referred to as a toupee. Lincoln. All right, you can see kind of like his hair floating off his head. And what this is right here, where you see it's all flat and just like a void, is a over-polished die. You can actually see some of it within his ear too. Pretty cool effect. This one sold for $10. So otherwise it would just be thrown back in the pile. But you can make an extra $10 for every coin that you do find of this type. But really cool. All right, make sure you hammer in those photos. Luckily, the close-up is the most important aspect of this sale. All right, we got another dollar bill. All right, so the front of the note looks absolutely normal. Okay, that's all well and good. It's 2006, so it's pretty recent. But on the reverse, you have this. Okay, what it is it's a front-to-back wet ink transfer. All right, it's an offset transfer note. This is 100% fully involved. Sometimes you get some that are like 30% or half percent, like 50%. But this one is a full front-to-back transfer. Okay, it's wet ink. So as the sheets are being produced and they're overlapping each other, okay, you have wet ink on the other sheet that is touching onto the new sheet that's been overlapped on there, and that's how you get this pretty cool effect. So this wet ink transfer is sold for $125. Best offer. Pretty cool note. These occur even on newer notes today, 2017s and up. All right, so we saw the Kennedy half-dollar blank earlier. So what we have here is a 71 to 78 era Eisenhower dollar blank planchet. All right, so how much does something like this go for? $41, and that's even with the few scratches that are on the blank itself. It's just really cool that you can find large, huge blanks of coins that were intended to be just big monsters, like Morgans and Peace and Eisenhower's, or some of the biggest coins in U.S. history. So if you found a blank, that just makes it doubly awesome. All right, so keep this in mind, that these blanks command quite a bit of money. All right, so this is one of your tougher off-center dates, kind of like a key, 1970D. You just don't see these. All right, the people that actually collect off-center struck coins, this one's about 60% off-center as the crow flies. They know and understand there are specific dates within the series that are just many times more difficult to find. This is one of them. I haven't seen a 70D in quite a while, but this one is awesome. This one sold for $39.99. All right, now we're talking about money that usually can be achieved for maybe a 30s or 40s off-center Lincoln wheat cent. This one is a 1970D. It's a tougher date. Again, the pictures are not great. All right, this is a 5070 Likud cent, very common date. Many hundreds of millions were made. But what really matters is what's up close. This is a machine double 1957D. Man, look at this mint mark too. Flat shelf-like features. This is a common date for MD. But this one right here struck a chord on eBay, and someone actually paid $48 for this coin. Okay, keep in mind, machine double coins have kind of like this hidden kind of cult following. All right, so you got to take advantage of that if you want. It's not an error yet. It hasn't been blessed as one, but keep in mind, it's only going to be a matter of time. All right, so for all you Kennedy half-dollar hunters out there, this is another nice find. It's a 96p. All right, this time you got a lot of weak features and devices on not only the obverse, but the reverse as well. All a byproduct of just a copious amount of grease on the dies before the coin was struck. All right, so that's why you have a lot of weakness in the letters of Liberty and in God We Trust, and then on the reverse as well. This one right here sold for $9.01. All right, pretty nice, worthwhile pull out of a half-dollar roll. All right, everybody's favorite one-shot coin. It's a 43S Lincoln steel cent. Okay, zinc-coated steel. All right, so really quickly, it's missing the eye. Another clogged die issue, a mint error. This is a phenomenal coin. It sold for a lot more than I would expect. $24.49, even has a striation in the planchet. I don't know if that's an improper alloy mix or something to that effect. But this letter I in Liberty is completely missing. All right, you have no weakness on any of the other letters around it, so it is most likely a clogged die issue. All right. Couple coins left. We're almost done. 1971 Washington quarter. It doesn't look like much upon first examination. It looks like a standard, well-circulated coin, but this is one of the most difficult double die reverses that you will ever find. It is one of the most rarest and probably one of the most expensive copper nickel clad coins you will find as well. So this one here, okay, the seller actually took the liberty of painting the picture of where all of the major doubling occurs on this coin. Great job, by the way. But you'll see a lot of doubling. You split serifs. Okay, you'll see the notching and the splitting into all the letters, which is strong. It's incredibly strong on this coin. This is the FS 801 in the Cherry Picker's Guide, and then you also see quite a bit of that same doubling on $quarter as well. Ladies and gentlemen, in this condition, this one sold for $178.50. Outstanding money. Holy smokes. Great job. And then finally, we're going to end it off on a bang. I don't talk about graded coins, but hey, why not? Because I've never seen a coin quite this magical in a long while. This is a 1999D Roosevelt dime. Just count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quadruple struck error. Geez. There's really not a whole lot to say. This thing you could stare at for probably a good 10-15 minutes and just soak it all in. It's like a work of art. But anyways, a really big-time example. It's an NGC Mint State 66, as you can see here. It looks equally impressive with the slab just in there. So I don't know how much it sold for. The asking price was $5,274.50. A best offer price amount was accepted, probably somewhere between like $3,000 to $4,000. Quadruple struck coins are just a white whale in a collection. We see a lot of double and triple strikes, not too many quadruples. This is a good way to end it, I would say. So, anyways, that's going to do it for the Pocket Change Market Report. I want to thank each and every single one of you for joining in on the Double Down edition of this report. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. And most importantly, if you enjoy my channel. Okay, if you like money, collecting coins, this is the place. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Thank you guys again for joining. As always, Coinaholics, we are discovering together. So until next time, ladies and gents, enjoy the hobby, and good luck in your searches. See you next time.